Greetings, YouTube. So I saw a piece in the news just today that was about Texas passing a law that will make it against the law to sleep in public. Now, if somebody sleeps in public, it's a very good chance that they are homeless. I have slept in public because I was sitting under a tree and I fell asleep because I was just hanging out in the park one day, kind of enjoying the weather. Um, but I had a home. I had an apartment, so I could go to my home, and nobody called anybody on me because I'm a white dude, and white dudes walk around with the privilege armor that lets them get away with a heck of a lot of things. Um, and I'm mystified why you would want to criminalize that because it's far more expensive to criminalize housing, which is what you're doing here. You're saying that those without housing deserve to be treated as criminals than it is to just give them housing. And I'm not saying this flippantly. I'm not saying I think this. No, they've done the studies. It is far less expensive to just give someone housing, flat out, no excuses, just give it to them, than to criminalize them, which now puts them into the criminal system. They have to get arrested, they get booked, they get put in incarceration, and then they either cut a deal or they pay a fine or they go to trial. All of that is really expensive. It's just easier to give them housing. And we have lots of housing in America. Unfortunately, we allow a small group of people to control who gets to have a house and who doesn't. Now, I'm a landlord. This is an apartment building, 2 units. I live upstairs. My mother-in-law lives downstairs. At some point, she'll be moving out for whatever reason. Um, and we'll clean it up, do a few repairs that have to be done, make sure everything's in ship shape, and then we're going to rent it out. But the average market value for an apartment in America right now is like $2,000. And my apartment downstairs is 2 bedrooms with off-street parking. That's I could charge quite a bit for that if I wanted to. I would I could probably get 2,000, but I could easily get 16 or 1,700 bucks for it. But I'm not gonna. I'm probably going to charge around 12 or 1,400, which is a much more reasonable amount and much easier for a couple or two or someone and a roommate to get by on that. Okay? Because I'm not an amoral asshole. But there are far too many people that are hoarding housing and deciding that some people get to have it and some people don't. First off, corporations should not be able to own single family unit houses, period. They should only be owned by people, and they should be sold for the purposes of being occupied, not for Airbnbs. Those should be illegal, and not because someone wants to rent a house. House rental should be very rare in any community. In fact, I would pass a law saying that there no more than a certain percentage of homes may be rented. All the rest must be put on the market, which will drive the price down, which means more people can afford a house. I also believe that there should be rent controls for apartment buildings. That half of all rental units everywhere in every community should be price controlled, rent controlled. Period. And they should be regulated really strictly so that they are safe and healthy places to live. And I don't think that's asking a lot to make sure that everybody has a place to live that's safe and healthy. And again, it's less expensive just to give people housing than to criminalize them. So tell me, is it easier for someone to get housing if they have a criminal record or they don't have a criminal record? I've never had a conservative person ever answer that question. Same thing with drugs. You don't want someone to be addicted to drugs? Cool, neither do I. Now, what's going to be easier for someone to kick a habit? If they have a criminal record, if they don't have a criminal record. Right, no criminal record. That's going to make their lives easier. But America loves punishment. We are very punitive in our laws, and we need to change that. Our laws need to be based on justice, which is a foreign concept in this country, which is bloody terrifying. So Like the title of this video says, housing, housing, housing.